All right, start by finding a comfortable seat. If you need any props like a blanket or pillow to sit on and lift your hips so they're above your knees, you can grab that now. And when you're ready, you can close down your eyes and start to deepen your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Start to drop into your internal world. Start to notice your state of mind, any emotions that you're feeling. Notice any places that you might be holding tension in your face or anywhere else in your body. And see if you can drop into a space where you're simply observing, letting go of any judgments, any extraneous mental chatter, just noticing how you're feeling in this moment. Take one more round of breath. When you're ready, you can slowly blink your eyes open and then rock forward, drop your hands, and then find a child's pose. So your toes to touch, your knees wide, sinking your hips back, stretching your arms out in front of you. And we'll just pause here for a moment. Take this time to call to mind any intentions that you'd like to set for this practice. The full moon is a great time. It's a great time to think about new goals, to set some new beginnings, and to let go of anything that needs to end. Your next inhale, lift your hips, walk your hands back so they're underneath your shoulders. Knees can come underneath your hips. And we'll start to drop into some cat-cows. So inhaling, dropping your belly, opening your heart. Exhaling, pulling your navel to your spine, rounding your spine, pushing through both hands. And then continue here with your own breath. You can start to find some intuitive movement that feels good. So maybe looking over one shoulder and the other. Maybe finding some hip circles. Starting to make your practice your own. Your next exhale, come back to tabletop. And then start to walk your hands forward. Maybe you want to walk your knees back in space a little bit too. And then keeping your knees stacked underneath your hips, start to drop your chest and your forehead towards the mat. So your forehead rests gently on your mat. Nice gentle stretch in the shoulders. Beautiful heart opening pose. And then on your next inhale, push down through your hands, tuck your toes, lift your hips, and come into your first downward facing dog. So really find movement that feels good to you in this pose today. Maybe you can shake your tail a little bit. Maybe you want to really deeply bend into one or both knees. Take one more inhale. Find some stillness. Stay for the exhale. And then bend your knees, look forward, and take a nice little hop to the front of your mat, finding a forward fold. Releasing the crown of your head towards the mat. You can grab onto both elbows. Find a little sway side to side, bringing some fluidity to the joints. Releasing any tension in your face and your jaw. On your next inhale, grounding down through both feet, bending through your knees, sweeping your arms out to the sides, all the way up, hands to touch. And exhale, hands to heart center. Your next inhale, sweep both arms up overhead, gaze to your thumbs. And then exhale, bump your hips to the right. Gaze can come up underneath the right arm. And then exhale, back to center. Inhale, arms reach up. And then exhale, bumping your hips to the left. Inhale here. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale here again, both arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, forward fold. And walk your feet up to the front of the mat. And then go ahead and step the right foot back to find your lunge. So on your next inhale, I want you to plant your right hand and open your left arm up to the sky. Drop your back foot so you're on the outside edge of that right foot, and then drop your knee down towards the mat so you come onto the knife edge of that left foot as well. This is called Soma Chandrasana, or Nectar of the Moon pose. So imagine that you're opening yourself up to receive the rejuvenating, energizing, revitalizing beams from the moon. So we'll inhale here, stretch that arm all the way up to the sky. Exhale, start to sweep that left arm out in front of you, finding some nice big arm circles. One more inhale here. exhale, come up onto your toes, plant that left foot, and then you can start to walk both hands to center, finding a nice wide-legged forward fold. Drop your head towards the mat, and then I want you to imagine that your head and your arms, your whole upper torso is like seaweed that's floating in the water. So you can start to bend into one knee and then slowly bend into the other, going back and forth into this half squat as you find some intuitive, watery, swaying motion from side to side. We're not focusing so much on form, but it's all about the flow. Then when you're ready, you come over to lunge on the other side. So you can drop that back knee, plant your left hand, inhale, open up to the right side. And then we'll come onto the knife edge of both feet again. Inhale, stretching that right arm up to the sky. And then exhale, drop it down, sweeping it across in front of you, finding these nice wide circles with the arm. Take one more big circle, and then we'll come back, planting both feet, coming back into your wide-legged forward fold, finding this nice gentle sway, this spontaneous flowing side squatting pose. We'll turn back to the front of our mats, drop that back knee, slide your left foot back to meet the right, and we'll come back into our puppy pose. So you can untuck your toes, make sure your knees are under your hips, start to walk your hands out in front of you as you melt your heart, melt your head down to the mat. Take one more breath in and exhale, side out. You can start to walk your hands back in towards you, tuck your toes, lift your hips, coming back into our downward dog. And again, find some intuitive movement in this downward dog. So whatever feels good, just starting to find your flow, find some sway, tapping into that feminine, fluid energy here. And then on an inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. Exhale, drop it back down, downward dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up to the sky. Exhale, drop it down, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward, step or hop it up. Exhale, forward fold. Next inhale, lift both arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hinge at the hips. Step your right foot back, and then we'll find our Soma Chandrasana once again. So inhale, lift the left arm up to the sky. Go ahead and fall out onto the edge of both of your feet. Then we'll inhale, lift that left arm up to the sky. Exhale, circle that left arm. This time you can reverse your circle as well. On your next exhale, plant your hands, come back onto the toes, and then we'll transition with that spontaneous flowing seaweed pose. And then we'll transition into bending side to side. So this half squatting, really finding the fluidity. And then when you're ready, come to the back of your mat. So planting the left hand, inhale, lifting the right arm up to the sky. Come onto the knife edge, both of your feet. Inhale, stretching that right arm up overhead. And then exhale, finding your arm circles. Go ahead and reverse your circles if you haven't already. Your next exhale, plant your hands, back foot lifts onto your toes. Bend through that back knee, and then in one motion, stepping up to the back of your mat, finding your forward fold. Inhale, lifts you up halfway. Exhale, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release, plant your hands, step it back, and then lower yourself all the way down to your belly, keeping your hands in close to your ribs, forehead resting on the ground. And then on an inhale here, we'll find a cobra. And we'll stay lifted as you find some fluid movement in your cobra as well. So just start to find a nice sway, as if you're moving through water. Maybe you drop one shoulder down to the mat, and then the other. Last inhale here, lifting your chest. And then on an exhale, pushing down through your hands. Knees stay underneath your hips. Start to walk your hands forward, melting your heart once again to the earth, dropping your forehead, finding our puppy pose. Your next inhale, you can push yourself back up and bend forward, coming onto your belly, elbows underneath your shoulders, hands planted. And we'll stay for a moment in this Sphinx pose. So again, you can find some fluid movement here. You can drop your neck, doing these nice neck circles. Getting in tune with what you need in this moment. One more inhale here, opening your hearts, maybe opening your throats, and then exhale, releasing down to the ground, stretching both arms out long into a nice big T. So go ahead and bend into that left leg now, and start to roll yourself over onto your right side. So your left foot will be planted next to your right thigh or right knee. And you can bring that left hand close to your chest, or maybe resting on your left thigh if you want a little more intensity. But this should be a really beautiful stretch through that right pec and that right shoulder. A beautiful heart opening pose. If this is too intense, you can play with the stretch, so you can loosen it by rolling your chest closer to your mat. Or if you want a little bit more, you can roll that left knee to the left side even more. Just stay here for a few more breaths. And on your exhale, you can roll yourself back down to your belly, and we'll come onto the other side. So bending into that right knee this time, rolling yourself onto your left side, right foot plants next to your left leg. Right hand can stay near your chest, can rest on your right thigh, wherever feels more comfortable for you today. And at the bottom of your next exhale, roll yourself on through back to your stomach, and then slowly you can roll yourself over onto your back. So once you find yourself on your back, bring your knees into your chest for a moment, and then go ahead and give yourself a nice big hug. Squeezing your knees into your chest, maybe bringing your knees up to meet your nose or your nose up to meet your knees for a moment. Squeeze everything in. And then on an exhale, release your feet to the mat, your hands open on either side of you. And then bring your arms out into a T shape again. Lift your knees and then drop them over to the right side. Left shoulder reaching towards the ground. Gaze can fall over to your left fingertips. Inhaling lifting your knees back up to center. And then exhale, dropping them over to the left. Right shoulder stays planted on the ground. Gaze falls out towards your right fingertips. Your next inhale, lifting your knees back up to center. You can extend both legs up into the air, feet parallel to the sky, as much of a bend in your knees as you need. And just take a moment of a slight inversion. I'll take one more inhale here. And then exhale, slowly releasing your legs to the corners of your mats. Arms resting at your sides, palms facing upwards. Find your blanket or pillow if you need to for this final Shavasana. We'll just stay here for a few minutes today. And I invite you during this time to bring your left hand to rest on your heart and your right hand to rest on your stomach. And as we're resting here, take a moment to call your intention back to mind. Why did you show up for this class today? And notice if you feel any different from when you first got on your mat. Start to bring some small movements back into your body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Stretch your arms up overhead. And when you're ready, gently roll yourself over onto your right side, using your right arm for a pillow, tucking your knees into your chest. Pausing here for just a moment before you push yourself back up, keeping your eyes closed, coming into a seat. Hands can rest gently on your knees. invite you to bring both of your hands to your heart center, bowing your head to your hands and your heart, bowing your mind intelligence to your body intelligence, feeling gratitude towards yourself for showing up today, doing something good for your mind, your heart, your body. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much, friends, for sharing your time and your energy here with me today. Enjoy this practice whenever you need a little more of a relaxation and rejuvenative series. It doesn't always have to be this hard sun salutations, sweat, and work. Sometimes it's best to just relax, take it easy, and just take some time for yourself. So thank you so much for showing up for yourself today, and sending you much love and full moon blessings.